Hello, I'm Neil Whelan, and welcome to the Wesleyan Podcast. In the second part of our South Asian Heritage Month special, our Wesleyan colleagues Jeevan, Dalbir, Nabeel and Ajay delve deeper into their family and cultural backgrounds, and almost inevitably spend a fair amount of time talking about food and the important part it plays at home and in the community. But enough from me, let's get back into it.
So it's interesting that you kind of talked about some of the kind of conversations that you had with your mum and family just around kind of addressing things in that positive way of just like, we want to do it in this way. So in terms of that process, and it kind of leads on quite nicely onto the next one, which is around kind of a surprising or transformative conversation with an elder about their past and why. And so it's kind of almost linked some of it to why do we do stuff, but at the same time, is there anything that you've had like a really deep and insightful conversation with an elder that's like, oh,
do you know what? I'm going to go controversial on this, and the caste system is a controversial conversation that I've had, where they were trying to, I don't know, the conversation was this, and I won't put any names, who it was. It was an elder person, and it was me having a conversation. And the person's very proud of their caste, and fine. And the conversation went, I've always been this, my family's always been this. And I was like, okay, fine, let's have this conversation now. Okay, I'll use the caste, which, first of all, I'm going to point this out. I don't believe in the caste system. I'm a Sikh. I don't believe in the caste system. And I've got nothing against people that do. Personally, in my opinion, it's not something I adhere to. So this particular person of caste was talking about their lineage, which was, let's say, leather worker. Yeah. So I'm proud. I am from this background. I was like, okay, fine. Wicked. How far back can you trace your ancestry into that particular trade or whatever it was? My granddad was, my great-granddad was, my great-great-granddad was. I said, okay, fine. What about 1,000 years ago? Yeah, 1,000 years ago I was. Okay, 2,000, yes, 2,000 years ago, I know that's my lineage. Wicked, wild. And I know there's no records of it, but wicked. How about when there wasn't any leather work? What was he then? How about when there wasn't the requirement for human beings to wear leather? How about the person went silent, smiled, realized that there was a bit of a checkmate situation? So that's that controversy, that challenge I've thrown out to older generations is, look, I get it. I get there's a little bit of people, I'll figure things out, but from my point of view, some of the poison that's been bled in because of caste abuse, as a Sikh, I can't sit there and not have that conversation with people, to at least challenge it. I'm not saying I'm going to change people's viewpoint, but for me, it's a weird one, right? Because I see on a weird spectrum. When I used to smoke, right? I used to smoke in the day, right? When I stopped smoking, the way I stopped smoking was about associating there's cool people that smoke, but there's also people that pick up cigarette butts from the street. When I'm smoking, I don't just fall into one bracket, I fall into the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
And that helped me stop, because I didn't want to do that sort of thing. So for me, the challenge that I've had is to have that conversation, whether I got through to that person or not. But yeah, and it's still an ongoing debate and conversation with people.
It's mad, isn't it? So from a Pakistani point of view, we have a caste system as well. For my dad's, not so much my mom's side of the family, more so my dad's side of the family. They were very proud of the caste that they were. Yeah, my dad, my granddad, my great granddad, and they're very, and even like the elders of the family, they're still, we are this caste and we're this and that. They were blah 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 blah. Now in my generation, we know about it, we talk about it. Yeah, I refer to my cousins as Raja or my friend as a Chaudhry kind of thing. So we refer to these, but my kids have no idea, no clue about the caste system because I've removed it because we don't need it.
Islamically, it's not
existent. We're not allowed to. You're not allowed to, because we're not allowed to have that tribal, that hierarchical system. You're not allowed to. Everybody's equal. But like you, with the South Asian community, and when it comes to caste, there was a kind of a racist connotation to 100%. It. As an example, I'll be honest, my chacha, who is his caste, married my chachi, who is her caste. Now, growing up, we always heard that those two castes are always butting heads because they always wanted to be top dog, kind of thing. So when those two got married, there were certain people in my family who were like, why is he marrying a girl from that caste? Why is he not marrying it from our caste? Kind of thing. And
Both Muslim.
yeah, both Muslim.
Yeah.
It's 2025,
Yeah.
and there are still people within my family who go, no, adamant, my daughter, my son is marrying from the same caste. I married out of my caste. It didn't even make a difference to me. My in-laws still call me Raja Saab, and I'm like, no, don't call me that, because I don't want that hierarchical thing. I think they do it just to wind me up.
They put Jamai Raja in front. This is for Jamai Raja.
They're not right, Jamai Raja. I'm running out of house, but yeah, it's still there. It's still prevalent today. Yeah. I'm trying to move my children away from it because I try to go from an Islamic ethos that there is no
similarly. And I hope to encourage more people to be themselves rather than I'm a this, I'm a that.
But what I don't want to do, I don't want to remove it from their knowledge altogether because it's part of our history.
That's what I'm saying. It's a part of the history somewhere, but when it becomes racial,
that's when it needs to stop. Then
we've got a problem, and we're not challenging that. And I think that's that challenge. I'm one of those people. I have challenged older people on that subject.
Yeah.
And it's a hard subject. It's a hard. I don't blame them. It's like if a white person. I've had a lot of racial abuse in the day, right? If an old white person said something racial to me, I don't take offense to it because that's a different generation.
There's ignorance there, isn't there?
There is Indians and black people that are similar to that white person.
Yeah.
And they will do it. Yeah. They do it their own way. So I'm not. It's not like that. But I think when it becomes a little bit obstructive and racist, then there is a conversation to be had, and I'm happy to have that conversation on behalf of somebody. I have to. Which is an interesting one. Sorry if I've darkened the tone a little bit, but these are things.
But this is what it's about. It's the whole point of this conversation, and there's going to be people who listen back to this thinking, "Oh, I had no idea," and that's what it's about.
I've got one that's not so deep, and it's not really transformative, but it's just funny to think about. So I didn't grow up with grandparents, so I didn't really have like stories from back in the day. But I got married. I have a grandmother-in-law who treats me like I'm her granddaughter. It's great. And she tells stories to us and to her grandkids about her life back in the day. So she turned 88 the other day, which means she is, can anyone do the quick maths? She was born in 1937.
Wow.
So she will tell stories about living in the village in Punjab in India. She had to go outside to go to the toilet, which is a separate building. Yeah. And be wary of snakes when she just wanted to go to the toilet. And we're sitting there like, wow, this is crazy because we can just go to the toilet, go to the bathroom. Yeah. We've all got en suites in our house. You got no plumbing issues. What do you mean you had to be wary of snakes? And it's just that comical, like, it's we take certain things for granted.
We do.
That's where we've come from.
My dad was born in 1937, so similar age to Harvey's Bibi, right? Yeah. Crazy, yeah? Sheila's nan was a little bit older, and the detail, the conversation, the language skills that generation had, they didn't write it down. It was all word.
And memory. The memories, the things that they remember.
Remember the amount of care at her wedding.
Yeah.
What her wives were cooking.
Yeah.
She remembers sewing by candlelight. There wasn't electricity widely used and my dad's experience in Fiji, they remember the sirens going for World War II, not much electricity. They probably shared a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
It was like that. 14 managing business and my dad was managing his business and estate at 14, taking produce to a market at 14. Mm-hmm. Crazy, right? Yeah. And it is true. The amount of things that we've got now.
I just think my grandmother as well, because she's probably the same age around that time as well. And they talk about the history, and they talk about we're in the village back in the day. And she used to say to me that we used to walk 4 hours, 5 hours, or we used to walk for 3 days, sleep over in the somewhere during the night to get from one village to the other.
It was a 2-day journey to go and visit someone.
Now, it's 20 minutes in the car when you're back home. You're there, and look at you look at your grandparents now. I look at my grandmother with her kundi and walking around and things like that, and I'm like, this woman used to walk for hours on end, days on end, and I just about walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. Do you know what I'm saying? And
What a happy generation though, still, right? Quite content with what they had.
yeah,
You know?
it was really simple for them,
Yeah.
and they loved it. And we have all the amenities that we want now,
I mean,
and
sugar.
we're still complaining. But we still want more.
Think about how it's going to be for 2 generations.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Crazy,
so
right?
different.
Crazy.
We think it's a challenge for us.
Yeah,
Sugar was a
Doing
luxury.
everything to them.
yeah.
Hair was a luxury. Milk was a luxury.
My son finds it really weird that I didn't have a phone when I was in secondary school. You didn't have a phone, Dad? I was like, no, I didn't have a phone. But then I was talking to my best friend as well, and I was like, listening to my granddad. My granddad passed away a few years, about 10, 12 years ago now. But I was listening to my grandmother talking to my dad and my daya, and they were talking about how close my granddad was with his friends and how they would communicate every single day without a phone.
Yeah.
How they just go and knock on each other's doors and they'd be available for each other. Now, you can't do nothing. You can't go anywhere without going, are you home, mate? I'm going to come and see you.
Yeah. Where's it
Sorry,
going?
missed your call.
Yeah.
Interesting one though.
That's crazy.
So I want to go on to an interesting topic: historical figures or movements. What's like a historical figure or movement that's kind of inspired you and why? And I'll throw mine out there first while you're having a
Go on, then.
think about it. For me, it's something very recent. I'd look at something like as a movement, the farmers' protest. A couple of
Very
years back.
recent.
Yeah.
I'm going very recent, just because if you look at that, it's it was rooted in just the basics of the farming community in Punjab and protecting that community that was being
Woke a lot of people up, didn't it?
yeah, it woke a lot of people, and even sitting here outside of India, you see what was happening, and I was probably somewhat disconnected from it to some degree, but it was the fact that English media, they just didn't get it. Right? They just didn't understand it, but here we are 2 years later. Same things happening in France. Same things happened here with farmers, not in the same level, but actually it takes something like that as a movement that kind of woke up other countries as well to say, actually, what the mindset of farmers in those countries is actually, we're just being oppressed in the same way by our governments. And let's create that movement. So it was quite an interesting one. That was one that just seemed to trigger.
It's a big one. It got a lot of people talking, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing some art for it. I was doing some sketches and stuff on my Insta page. You made me aware of it, and I, like you, I didn't really quite.
Yeah.
Then I heard it, and I thought I understand what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Like governments and what they're trying to achieve, and who's getting hit. Like some of the communities that thrive on this, it's an ecosystem that you're trying to damage.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I think for me, I have to. Mine isn't so recent, probably 400 or 500 years, and I'll go back to my faith now, and I'll talk about Guru Gobind Singh and the movement that was happening in Punjab, again, against a government, against a hierarchy that was oppressing. And that wasn't just limited to Sikh people, because Muslims, Sikhs and Hindus stood together at that time to try and oppose tyranny. And it isn't a Sikh versus Muslim war. It was never that. It was actually, it doesn't matter about your religion. You should be allowed to be the religion you are and exercise your rights as a human being, right? But for me, the reform that was meant to happen, now, are we where we are? I've just spoke about the caste system. It's crept in, shouldn't have. But the reform that was trying to happen in India, it's a massive, massive movement, to change thousands of years worth of thinking to a new way of thinking. And it's a work in progress, I think. And for me, Guru Gobind Singh represents the lineage that he inherited. So I could say many names, and it goes back 500-600 years, but then to manifest it in the Khalsa movement, the things that they tried to achieve from that, for me, I think is a remarkable thing. If you look at history, trying to do a U-turn on thousands of years worth of human manipulation is a very ambitious task. Very ambitious task. And I suppose I get my questioning, like, why are you wearing that garland then? Why are you wearing that Jayamala then? Why are you not? Just question some things, and sometimes it really helps liberate us as individuals.
So I'll go a couple of generations on from Dal, and I mentioned my interest in like the Sikh Empire history. So there's two figures that I'm really interested in. One, Maharaja Ranjit Singh. So he was, you could say, effectively one of the first, and probably, in my eyes, the last Maharaja of that empire. I wouldn't call it an empire. Some people do. It had one ruler. And then the few kings after him kind of fought for succession. So in my view, they don't really count. But he followed on from what the Gurus had established, but then also really understood. So he was in the context of British India. The British were trying to come into Punjab, and he was holding that line. But he also understood the value of a diverse populace. He had Scottish people in his court. He had French people in his army, and he understood the value of
European military.
Yeah, so if they're advancing their military in this way, maybe I should learn from that, and what can I bring into my culture and advance my court in that way. So I think that was really cool. And then second is one of his queens, Maharani Jind Kaur, who was the rebel queen, the British called her. So
She'll ring you up.
the prince that I saw in the textbook as a kid, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. He had the pearls with Queen Victoria around his neck, and I thought that was really cool at the time, seeing it as a child. But his mum was fighting for his empire and to remain free. I'm not doing the story justice in any way, because he had been essentially kidnapped as a child, brought over here.
It's like a pet with you.
8-year-old me is thinking, oh, that's cool. He's got pearls of Queen Victoria in his neck.
Yeah.
A showpiece,
so that they could take over that land and colonise, and essentially then have all of the Indian subcontinent under their control. And she was fighting against it until her very last. So she's very inspirational to me. And that period of art, it's very closely linked with like Mughal art, the art of the era of the Gurus.
Yeah.
That what kind of time period would you call it? Up to like 18th century Indian art is just amazing, and I just love that. So I find that quite inspiring. Yeah.
Me, well, I'm gonna go down more of a from like Dalbir's from a Pakistani point of view. There isn't really many people that I would go, yeah, I revere them. I think there's a lot. There is one and only person for me, and that's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, peace and blessings be upon him. That he's the only one that I can look up to and go, from where he was, and don't forget, obviously they were in Arabia, so there's nothing to do with the South Asian heritage. However, the start off, like what Dalbir said, tried to make a U-turn, that their ancestors worshipped idols and all these sort of things.
Massive U-turn.
He was known as the most trustworthy person in Arabia at that time, in Mecca at that time, and he went against his whole tribe to bring a message of worshipping one God, and the justice he tried to bring with that, and then everything that he went through with it. For me, that is, he's the one that I revere more than anybody else, because he had to go through a lot of stuff. And again, like Jeevan said, she's not doing justice for the stories of the people that she reveres. There is nothing that I can say or do that will do justice to what he did at his time. He broke boundaries, barriers, gave people rights when nobody else wanted to give them rights. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
as a little bit of Pakistani in me, because my granddad was from Lahore.
Yeah.
I'll say that now it's Pakistan, but in the day, Guru Nanak was from now what we call Pakistan.
Yeah.
Nangana Sahib is from that side of the border, right?
Yeah.
But an interesting figure is Bhagat Singh. Now, if you, from a Sikh community, your Bhagat Singh is like when there's a mela where there's a festival we're doing like kabaddi or fighting, there's always a picture of Bhagat Singh. He's an atheist. They tried to make him Sikh, and he was a Marxist. He was a fan of Marxism, but we
still revere. There's a reverence,
but a freedom fighter, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do it for religion.
Yeah,
he did it for freedom of the country.
Yeah.
We cannot be oppressed like this no more. We cannot carry on, this tier of society. And I suppose maybe the intentions were once well. The East India Tea Company or whatever they wanted to do. It might have been well, but by the time he grew up and what he saw, and there's a lot of that, and that doesn't just see people fighting that for. There was a lot of freedom fighters that we don't know about.
Yeah,
that come from all areas of South Asia.
Yeah,
all of India, South included. We just don't hear enough about those characters.
Yes, that
Netflix now.
my reference would
Like,
be
sorry.
the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But then he's, like I said, I try to live my life from an Islamic point of view. I'm not the perfect Muslim, far from it, and I'm still trying to learn. But all of the prophets that came before him, so whether it be Abraham, Noah, Adam, Moses, whoever they are, and then if you look after Prophet Muhammad, it's people like Osman who created the Ottoman Empire. What he went, why did he do what he did? So you look at these sorts of things, and the battles that they had and things like that. And it's not about he was a wicked fighter. Give him a sword, he'd probably beat anybody. It's not about that. It's about what made him sit down and go, I need to do justice for people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I need to have the people who are doing cruelty. I need to stop them, and the people who need my justice, I want to give them to them. Because if we look at how the world is today, there is not one person out there who believes in justice. I don't believe there is. There's nobody out there that believes in justice. We try, as a collective. You'll have Sikh charity aids trying to help out in Gaza or trying to help in Sudan. You'll have Muslim aids charity company trying to help, but there is not a person out there, a man out there, upstanding person, man, woman, whoever it is, that is fighting for justice, and that's the hardest thing for me to see. Know that there's been people from the Muslim community, the Sikh community, the Hindu community who have tried really, really hard to support their community, support their countries, have a freedom, but there is nothing. There's none of that now. Everything that everybody went through, and we've kind of gone backwards when it comes to that sort of stuff.
It is a difficult one. When the farmer protests happened, there was a lot of Sikh representation in there, and I understand why.
Yeah.
But then the other side of me, Ajay, on this is there is so much bad things happening on the Indian subcontinent daily. There are girls from low privileged backgrounds that are being
kidnapped, taken, raped, everything,
and made examples of because of their image. And it sort of frustrated me that where's that representation? Where's that fight? When is that fight going to be taken up? This is a big fight. This is important. People's livelihoods impacted here. But the injustices in certain aspects of, I'm sorry, not pointing out that Indians are bad people. I'm just saying it's a massive country. There's a lot of inequality, isn't there? Yeah. And that plight is, and I understand when Nabeel's saying in that sense, where is people that are meant to be, it's easy to have this fight. Very male orientated almost, but about that one, and I need to question myself on that. Where am I in that?
Yeah,
I'm not going to a rural part of Bihar and challenging the upper castes that think they can do anything. But one thing I say to my children is the fact when it comes to education, right? I'm saying you've got an opportunity here. We were just talking about this as we walked in. Don't waste it. Somebody else would love to be in your shoes right now. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is you want to do, whether it's being an electrician, whether it's being a doctor, that's your choice. But the opportunity, the platform we've got in the UK isn't one to be frowned upon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's an amazing time to be having this conversation with you guys in this work environment in the UK. That's a big step.
Yeah.
That's a massive platform. So if you don't want to do it for yourself, just do it for the person that's still stuck somewhere in a village, in Fiji, I don't know wherever, who hasn't had that same opportunity. And it's a very fortunate coincidence, isn't it, that we've got to this stage.
So we've got deeper topics, so I'm going to bring it back to a nice light-hearted one. Everyone loves food.
Yeah.
So it's massive in the UK, South Asian food is.
Yeah, massive.
How does food help you stay connected to your roots? And you talked about the fact that you don't have rugby every day now, or rarely at all. But how does it help you connect to your identity, and what kind of challenges do you have growing up? Because I've had the challenges growing up, like we didn't eat beef, and so because of that preconception, that you don't know what you're gonna be eating at school. Here's your bloody sandwiches. I used to hate sandwiches when I was a kid. Jam sandwiches every bloody day. I used to hate it with a passion, but that was at a time when you didn't know what was necessarily being cooked in schools, whereas now it's changed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think for me, it's just as long as it's halal, I'll eat it. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm like Jeevan and everybody else. We love our food. And it's ingrained, it's a big part, man. Massive part of us. And I think, as an example, I'm trying to go to the gym. I'm trying to get healthier. But if someone puts roti in front of me, if someone puts a paratha in front of me, I don't care if I've been to the gym and if I'm going to put weight on it, I'm eating it because it's nice food and I love it. I enjoy it. And, you know, you think about my grandparents used to eat all of this, you know, the proper desi stuff when you go back home and how they make it. And, but yeah, I think it's a part of who we are as well, isn't it? It's a part of what
Food is one of
where
the
we've come from.
basic requirements of a human being, right? Basic requirement. The fact that we can have so much fun with it is amazing. Yeah. Obviously, look from a Sikh point of view. I'm not representing the Sikh, but I'm just saying as a Sikh point of view, Langar is something that we do where everybody is welcome to food and we keep it vegetarian. Yeah, and it's different. We keep it vegetarian because it's more inclusive that way. But my challenge is I've grown up with parents from Fiji who eat anything.
Yeah.
Right? These are island people. They don't waste food. Then I've got to sit down with conservative Punjabi people and they're like, what? You're eating a head? Feet? Yeah, sorry. That's what I was talking about this morning. That's the weird part of my getting to know culture, and I've grown up like this, man. Beef, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But a lot, my sandu, which is my wife's brother-in-law, they haven't eaten it, never have.
Yeah.
But there is some families that don't eat pork either within Punjabi community, like my extended family. I've done that, but me, everything's gone because food was that food. Don't frown upon it. It's, you know, we were living in an environment where meat wasn't like an everyday thing, bro. Like you that's something to look forward to. Chicken every day. And there's some of the foods that stand out for me, like sarg. We talk about sarg all the time, don't we? Right? It's something that my mum used to cook all day, and then in the evening, right at the end when it's made, right, she'd wake me up. Come on, let's go and try the sarg. That's a great food memory for me, man.
Yeah.
But she cooked a lot of other things, crabs, things like we don't talk about now. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, even in like Western cultures, they don't think of tripe as a.
Don't think of it. It's an animal food.
Forget Asia, it's everywhere.
What do we call krunde, which is bio.
Yeah.
So I grew up with them kind of foods, right?
Yeah.
Not a problem for me. And the Chinese community, still Pakistani community, way into it, right? So food, it's a very important one. But those great food memories, like sarg, is definitely up there with it. But yeah, we are spoiled, right? And can we also now fused food? So Italian food's got a bit of lumerich in it.
Yeah.
Turkey is not.
No, but I actually hate that. Like, my family will make like, you know,
desi
pasta or like desi lasagna. I hate it.
I like pasta. I like authentic pasta. I like it to be authentic too. But bro, sometimes I need that chili, man.
No, yes, but not masala.
I wouldn't put masala.
That's when I draw the line.
Yeah.
As an example, the enchiladas I had yesterday, masala, the chicken that was in it was made as a masala, and that's how the chicken was made. Not how you would expect the chicken to be.
Was the tortilla made as a roti? So did you just?
No. They were proper tortillas. But yeah, so
I would like to see more fusion food happening in the UK. Right, there's so much influence now in the UK, but I don't hear it. Where's the probably is already there, but the amount of communities and cultures and the shops that are available now, I think there needs to be a little bit more of a experiment.
If you like Indian brewery, you go to butter chicken pizza.
Butter chicken pizza. I mean, I've got Kurdish bakers by me.
Yeah.
Right in Handsworth. Yeah. The baker's gone from the high street, but there's a Kurdish community out there, and their naans, bro, £4 for a pound.
kulcha naan,
all the varieties, and it's a staple. Roti's a staple, and I would like to learn how to make roti to the level my wife can make it, because I think it's a good thing to be able to make bread in your home. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I know.
One of the.
And it shouldn't just be a woman's role to make roti. When my dad came to the UK, he had to make roti himself.
Yeah.
They did it.
We seem to have gone back a bit then so the men that came over here first without their wives, they learnt to make it.
Had to.
Because they had to. They had to feed themselves and the 10 other men they're sharing a bedroom with. But as soon as their wives come over, and that's it. It's back to their wives to make them.
Traditional value. Oh, yeah.
You're here now. I did this for a little bit, but actually, I was very
It's like, I make the best food in the house. I was thinking, yeah, but you only make it once every 4 years.
See, I was very fortunate. I grew up in a family where men cooked quite a bit. And I also remember a time when, you know how we got everything catered for now, our weddings?
Yeah.
We did it ourselves, bro.
Yeah.
Everything was
A
great.
lot of cooking happened ourselves. I remember a team of people all contributing towards samosa.
Yeah.
The making of it, the fixing it, the one person
Filling,
tasting it,
yeah,
one filling it,
One folding
a
it
group
over.
of people, somebody's in charge. Yeah,
Production.
even handling the food at our wedding. At my sister's wedding, it was like everybody's in the kitchen, bro.
Yeah.
And we got a line of people handing the trays out and sitting. And look, it's important to enjoy weddings. We spend so much money, and it's important. But I think there's a little bit of coming together, food as bringing people together as a talking point, as a community. Have we lost it? I don't think we lost it, but we might. I think there may be a risk of
Losing it.
losing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean did cooking at school. College, he decided to do that as a can't cook for shit, to be fair. He's qualified for it. But we now in our home, we try to encourage interaction in the kitchen with food as much as possible. Now, when we were growing up, it was maybe the dishes that Mum used to make and the Punjabi dishes that she knew, but that's been changed for pasta sometimes, or a noodle dish, or whatever it is. But I do try and still include kids with the process of they're watching Dad doing it. I use a wok extensively. I cook with the wok all the time. My mum never used a wok, but I use it now. And I'm just good with it, you know. But yeah, food is a great thing. Spiritually, a massive contribute to bringing people together. But then the comfort side of it as well, right? When we all sit down and have that one thing, like what's it called? Faluda.
Can't stand it. Hate it. I swore.
Love it. I love it. What is it? Rice noodles, bubble tea.
Basil seeds in there.
Ruafza.
I hate ruafza.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Some people, it's a love or hate thing.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Anyone cook with pumpkin? You like pumpkin?
Yeah, sometimes.
Pumpkin, yeah.
Yeah, very rarely, but we do. I mean, I love my this. It's funny when we go out to restaurants and things like that. Every now and again when we do go out to a restaurant, like the other day we went to Sheikh Khan's in Star City. It's not a plug.
He's sponsored.
The restaurants are available. It's not a plug. It's just where we went that day.
Plug anything would benefit.
Or when we go out, when the lads go out together, you're like, my chacha, he'll always order dal when he goes out to a restaurant. And I'm like, chacha, you can eat dal at home anytime you want to. Yeah. Why are you having it when we're going out as well? He goes, I don't care. I like my dal. Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of dal. I'm very desi in my, but if I had a choice between dal and I don't know, sabzi or something like that, or a chicken curry, I'm taking the chicken curry all day long.
Do you think too much choice is a problem sometimes? Like when I grew up, right, like we had to eat whatever Mum made. There wasn't a second.
Yeah, no, you don't.
She ain't gonna put nuggets in for me.
Nah.
That's one of my core memories is like
you eat what's made.
Like just somebody, carrots, somebody. I didn't. My parents put me outside the house at 9 o'clock at night. Saying you can stay outside the house until you're ready to come in. And that's how it was. Me and my brother like standing outside at 6 years old crying.
Do you compensate as a parent if a child protests? I don't.
No.
I'll make them eat what
I'm trying to do that. It's hard. It's hard. There's a few times we've had to just.
I'm going to get told off for this now. So it's not that I don't like cooking. I'm just not very good at cooking. I'm not very good at it, and I've tried it. Like if I tried to make roti, if I tried to make roti, the atta would be in the next door neighbour's kitchen. That's how bad I am. I do wash up.
We'll let you off then.
No, I do all of that. But for my kids is whatever your mum's made, you shut up, you sit down, you eat it. Yeah. But it's not because your mum's made it. 100%. But it's not about because your mum's made it. I try to instill in them that, look, you've got to understand, even in our communities back home, there are children who would love to have the stuff that you're eating.
Yeah.
Be grateful of what you've got. Whether your mum makes you carrot, whether she got you a carrot, or makes you a 3-course meal, be proud, be happy that you've got it, because there's children out there that don't have it.
Food is so important to us, right? And not just South Asians, I think the whole world.
Yeah.
But one thing I disagree with is the influence of social media whilst a child's eating, or whilst we're eating, there's a distraction in that child's hand. Sorry,
100% agree.
I just think the food experience it takes so much effort for everyone to contribute. I've been working, Sheila's been working. It takes effort, bro, to finish work. Both of us get in the kitchen. We don't argue about whose day is it to cook. We just cook it. If I want to feel like cooking, I'll cook it. Sheila does it, whatever. Kids do contribute as well to it. But then to sit down and have that meal only to be interrupted by a device.
Yeah.
Even the television playing in the background. And I'm not saying I'll do it all the time. Sometimes it's good to have low level crap going on.
A bit of white noise in the background.
Yeah. But I think it's a little bit, I think we have to be very careful now, because all the good memories that we've got with food, all the good memories we've got with food are probably because we were never distracted by something else. And we're able to sit down and take that memory in. I mean, we're at a risk now. We have to be sensible. I'm not saying get rid of mobile devices or whatever they are. You need to have part of them.
But generations have changed when it comes to food as well. Now, like, I know when I watch my dad, so my mum and dad are separated, they're divorced, but when I watch my dad, he just sits, and when his food comes, he eats, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll finish work, and then my wife's cooking, I'll go into the kitchen and say, do you want me to cut the veg? Do you want me to cut the cucumber? Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine my dad doing that at all. I couldn't imagine my granddad, God bless his soul.
My dad did cook.
At all. But yeah, generations have changed now, so, but I need to instill that in my boys, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you going and helping your mum, your sister, your wife, whoever it is, in the kitchen. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a good skill to have. Right?
Yeah.
It's a good talking point sometimes, but like I said, I think that my concern is all of us today, our generations, can sit down and have memories of food, but if we're not careful, we are at risk of losing memory because it's been replaced by a distraction. That is let's try and balance that out. Let's not let food completely disappear from our memories, because when we sit down, sometimes in adult life, going back to a food connection is so important, man. My mum's been dead for nearly 20 years or something, but the food memories with mum, and her love and all that, but the food memories with mum, God, you know, I would hate to think that there's a YouTube video playing in my head when I try and think back to the good. Mum woke me up at 11 o'clock, let's go and try some sargana. And if I just sat there and did that, I just think it would be sad that I wouldn't be able to connect with that memory. I don't know if there's proof around that. I've got a feeling that we might be going down a slippery slope.
I feel like we talk loads of
Jeevan
sat sitting there, not had a chance to talk.
Sorry, Jeeves.
Well, so memories of food you're talking about, and the question is, what challenges do we have with South Asian food now? So, growing up, I think the challenge is making South Asian food healthy.
True.
Because we're not in that environment back in India where you're sweating all day in the heat and you need that much salt, you need that much butter, and you're going to work it all off, because that's not going to happen. So for us to have that in our diet, we've seen it because most of our elders will have diabetes, high cholesterol, so many other...
So much starch food.
Yeah, and they'll realise when they get to age 70 and the doctor says, well, you need to cut out everything in your diet, and they really struggle. So my memory of roti and dal is that I didn't like it growing up. We had it every day and I didn't like the taste, and I was like, why is that? And I've realised now it's because my mum was making it healthy. There wasn't as much salt, there was none of the butter. She doesn't like that much chili, so that contributed as well. So there were certain things I really didn't like. So when people would say, oh, I love brown dal, I'll be like, what are you talking about? It's nasty. I get married and my in-laws are making it with the there'll be a layer of butter at the top. It's so spicy. They'll add a new todka every day, so it gets spicier as the week goes on. And I'm like, this is amazing, but I can't be eating this every day because it's not good for me. So I'm trying to find that balance.
Very difficult. It's very difficult.
Probably fine for us if we did the exercise. It's how much again exercise a lot.
We all have now a corporate desk job. You're working from home. I was saying to Del, I have to make a conscious effort to get up out of my desk.
Yes.
And to just...
It's so easy just to sit there,
not move,
especially when you work
for a snack.
Working from home, eat a snack, eat something rubbish, eat some gum that you wouldn't...
My healthiest days are when I come in the office, which is what I'm moved in.
Yeah.
Because you're more active.
Yeah. And it is... But I also, like, I don't think I could ever let go of our food.
No.
Do you get it?
Well, I've started to enjoy it more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm tasting it how it should have been tasted.
absolutely.
So I'm experiencing all that goodness.
There's things out there that I do think about. I think, oh, hope we never lose that. And I'm trying to teach myself and my kids about, like my kiddy roti. One of the hardest rotis to make, right? It's got to be hot water. It's a really hard thing to master. And the skill set, my mother-in-law can make them now in our little family group. She's the one that can make them. And I keep encouraging everybody to try and learn it from her. Once that's gone and you're buying it from Asda, I just think that's going to be a sad thing.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't mind doing it. I've just got to get my head. I've tried it and they are terrible, but I'll keep doing it because I don't. There's some things I would hate to leave to commercialism. And I think there's some foods, and my diet is like everybody else's around it. It's varied now. You know, who doesn't like a good roast? Just roast, not spicy roast. Just roast. Bit of salt and pepper, right? Just that. That's fine as well. But and then so the week is a bit mixed, right? And there's a bit of Chinese influence cooking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't it nice though that because we've been brought up in this country, we've got such a diverse
Yeah,
palate.
lucky.
Like you said, a roast, Sunday roast with Yorkshire puddings and, you know, steamed vegetables and a bit of gravy. Do you know what I'm saying? And that
I used to hate it as a child because my mum would boil the veg to death.
absolutely love it.
It's like yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to roast stuff in the oven.
Yeah. Growing up, fish and chips, you know, these were the things that we usually enjoyed.
Was a genius, right? They were very economical, man. They turned tin food into like gourmet dishes at home, man. Pilchard, bloody hell, pilchard, cabbage. Let's go for it. You ask kids to do that now. Ooh, could take the bone out.
Yeah.
It's weird. But I think it's up to the individual families, communities. There is some food that we can buy from a shop, but they are, you know what? I don't think we should lose them.
Yeah, I agree.
You
That's
know?
on my to-do list to start learning certain things
Certain things,
while I can.
ingredients for certain things. Like we made sog.
Yeah.
We've shared ingredients, haven't we? Like I used to grow food in an allotment, and we got batu from there.
So the story with that is, you know, Dal said his mum used to make sarg all day because that's how it has to be made all day. It doesn't taste as good if it's not. But my mum used to say it was her mum's recipe that had been passed down, but there's one ingredient she could never get. I don't know the English word for it. Do you know? Batu.
Lamb's ear, I think.
Lamb's something, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a herb or a weed?
I don't know. Herb.
So she used to say her mum used to put it in the salad. It was the one thing my mum could never get. She didn't know what it was in English, and her mum used to forage it. And when we say forage,
they did forage.
she'd just pick it off someone's front garden.
It was
like the secret ingredient she would put in her salad, and it would be amazing. And Dal was talking one day, literally within the past 4 years, it's going to be. Dal said, "I've got loads of this at my allotment." I said, "Hold on, you've got the secret ingredient that my mum's wanted for years." And now we've got a freezer full of it thanks to Dal, and so does my mother-in-law, and that song just hits even more.
It makes a big difference.
It
Doesn't it?
does.
I think the ingredients, like there's an ingredient calorie of stuff like this, right?
Yeah, we spoke about it.
But by where I am, where my plot was, I'm giving it up now, but I can't do it anymore. But where I was, there's a big Jamaican community there, so they grow callaloo. Callaloo is their spinach. But unfortunately, it's not the one that's in Jamaica. It's a hybrid version of.
Yeah.
But even then, it's such a strong, robust spinach.
Yeah.
And then incorporating that into sag. Yeah, I'm fusing things here, right? I told you I took it to the local FCC center. Gave them 2 black bags full of callaloo. Nothing else. It's all legal. And they made a sag dish out of it. Absolutely beautiful with batu as well.
Yeah.
And put it in, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I think there's some things I don't want to be left to commercialism. You know, it's nice to be able to.
The next generation will be like, "What's a quarter now?"
What's it called?
You know,
I've still got my mum's
like, why doesn't use that? She just blends it.
No, I still got my mum's water. That's my connection. I've got the Dutch pot my mum had from the day, bro. I still got it. I still use it. It's still being used. So sometimes there's a drink that you can make. It's called ragara. You use almonds, nuts basically, and spices, and you grind it down.
Yeah.
You can do it in a blender, but by doing it by metal, what's it called? Pestle and mortar.
Yeah.
That scale.
Yeah.
Is brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
Does it taste better having done it in the pestle and mortar than in blender? Then?
Yeah, you can buy almond drinks that way, but doing it this way is completely different. My mum used to, so my mum, right, so when she was a little girl in Fiji, her dad, for her brothers, used to make badam, and they were very Juan people. They were like gangsters in the day. I don't do no justice to my lineage, but they were very strong men in that time. And part of that, their diet was things like badam ragra, where they would make it from scratch and go to, and it was a luxury. Palwan have it, like wrestlers have it. Yeah, they still do it themselves in Pakistan and on the other side of the border. They extensively make it all day long. It's one of their main sources of carbohydrate, protein.
Yeah,
but yeah, because you're involved, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there for 40 minutes doing this workout. It's just a workout in its own right. But things like that, I don't know how many youngsters our generations are aware of that. But my parents are quite old, right? So they're in line with your guys' grandparents' age. My parents were. So I've had this little bit of exposure. I was exposed to old people and their ways very as my direct influence.
Yeah.
Not as a second-hand experience. It was my first-hand experience. But should we stop there on the food topic?
Yeah, we'll stop there because so I'm going to round it off with the last question. And it's about linking back to legacy, roots to roots, and where do we see our future and the next generation. So if you could speak directly to your younger self or to future generations, what message would you give about heritage? And I'll throw my answer out there because I'm going to give credit to Neil, who gave me this answer. And we touched on it before, which is ask the questions now, because by the time we want to ask the questions, those generations will be gone. Whether it's wedding traditions, funerals, whatever it is, by the time we want the answers, that generation's going to die.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite powerful because it's, especially with the amount of traditions you've got.
I think it's just about holding on to our traditions. But then that links into what you're saying about make sure you ask. The only way you're going to hold on is to ask the questions.
There's a lot of things that are great. There's a lot of things that could be better. There's a lot of things that whoa, how did that even happen? I think it's our role to figure out what is appropriate in today's world, what is going to be carried forward. Learn the tradition, like Jim, you did for your wedding, you went and asked questions, you tried to find out the meaning behind things. I don't want to take on everything that was inherited by my parents because some of it was bad, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And just because they did it isn't enough as well. So we've got this unique opportunity to be selective about what can make us stronger going forwards or can carry on and cause destruction.
Yeah.
We've got a great opportunity right now. We've still got people around us that we can ask. We got knowledge. We've connected with those countries a bit more now as well. I mean, I've been to India and I never felt accepted in India. I'm always that outsider.
That's a really good one, because like you talk about that. I know it's moving away from it a little bit, but when you go to Pakistan, if I go to Pakistan, I'm a Valeto. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm from England. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
People can smell you out from so far away. Then
We used to go to the shopping malls. My dad used to say to me, "Do not speak English. Do not speak English because they're going to charge you 4 times more." They would, like Jeevan said, they'd smell you out. They knew you were from England. The way you walked, the way you looked.
Yeah.
They knew you were from England. They knew you were, and that's the sad part. A little bit of the sad part is that we're still, even though we hold on to it. Over here, we've been born and brought up over here. We hold on to it so much. But when we go back there, we're an outsider.
So younger point, going back to younger, so what question about? My children are my younger me, a way of looking at it from my point of view. And I would encourage them they know their future, they know what's expected from them, the world that they're in, better than I do. I've only got an idea. They're in it at the moment. I will encourage them to ask questions of me that, Dad, what is this about? You're part of the Sikh faith. I don't inflict it on my children. That's not the right word. I don't impose it on my children. It's their choice. I would prefer them, and I'm not saying that's right for everybody. I'm saying I would prefer them to make that decision themselves. Hopefully for them, I'm an educational piece and they can rely on me to be a good source of information. And if they do, wicked.
Yeah.
If they don't, that's fine as well. They're still hopefully going to be good people, regardless of that. But I would encourage my children to ask questions of their nanny as much as they can, because I can't answer the things that she knows, but also use mum and dad. We're not just your mum and dad. We are also experiencing this world ask us questions. But
Because they'll ask questions that you don't know the answer to. You go and educate, like you said earlier as well, don't
I would ask them questions
Yeah.
as well. Tell me about your world. What's happening? What's new? Like the different music in my home is like mad. It's crazy. Everything's playing, man. I'm very fortunate, you know.
I'm slightly different now. But with me, I want my children to be Muslim because obviously from my education and my understanding of it, you know, that's what the path that I want my children to take. So, but I can only do that if I show them that I'm doing. If I'm not doing it, how the hell do I expect my children to do it?
Yeah.
But then it adds on to my culture and where we came from. If I'm not showing them, if I'm not speaking my language in front of them, if I'm not doing things that are slightly more desi than what they would expect, how are they going to hold on to that? How are they going to have that memory later on? And how are they going to know, Dad, why did you do it like that? We know it like this, but why did you do it like that? So my language, my religion, certain things, the way we do things, you know, as the parent, I need to hold on to that, and I need to keep doing that. And and like Dalbir, you keep saying, it's encouraging the next generation to ask loads of questions.
Ask, man.
Keep asking. Yeah. We want to be asked. We want to be asked, you know.
You know, the thing is, I mean, as a youngster growing up, it's confusing, bro. I was growing up in a system which was teaching you something else. You got people talking. Back when you got home, it's a different conversation. Like I said, I go back to the point of we've got a very unique opportunity to try and repair some of the damage that's been done, embrace some of the great things. We've all had a brilliant journey today. We've crossed timelines, continents, and that's the amazing thing. And I think if I did want to go back, I would like to learn. You know, if I did go back and had more questions, I would have more questions around music and my connection to music, and I would like to learn more instruments. My dad, his uncle when he was alive, I mean, he's old, right? He's colonial old, like in that sense, yeah. He played the tumbi, and as part of his daily routine would be, you know, have his hookah, play the tumbi, sing a few verses of a story of something. And I think I would love to have connected more with musical instruments if I when I was younger, rather than I love the rave. I love the jungle. I would have liked to do that the double as well. Nothing's stopping me now.
Nothing's stopping you. We talk too much, don't we?
I think.
But sorry, before you jump in, but we talk too much. But what Jeevan says is profound. If he said something is proper, we just chat.
Quality on the contrary.
Absolutely.
He set you up there.
He has. No, I think for me it's difficult because I don't have kids. So for you guys, I think it's like you've had almost like moments of realization throughout your journeys of becoming parents and like starting to raise your children, where you can be like, oh, you know what, that's a legacy that I want to leave. So I don't think about things on that level yet. If I were to go back to talk to my younger self, I think I'd just say embrace it. And it's not that I haven't embraced my culture, because to be honest, I don't think about it. Your first question on the list was what does it mean? What does it sound? Yeah. And when I first started thinking about it, and I was saying to Dal, I don't know what that means to me. I just am. Yeah. Right? I've just been brought up that way. Yeah. The people around me, the music we may listen to alongside English music, alongside American music, alongside the different forms of dance. I just am. But I would say to my younger self, embrace it a bit more, because similar to Nabeel, I had, like in my primary school, I was one of 2 or 3 brown people, not just South Asian, but like brown in general. Everyone else was white. But then I also grew up, like part of my childhood was on Smethwick High Street, so being around a lot of brown people was normal, but then at school it wasn't. And people would say, well, why is your hair so thick? Or, you know, like, why are you so hairy? Why do you look like a man? Or, you know, I didn't get called dark, but I know certain people have. But now, it's a beauty trend. People want to go on holiday and they want to get a tan because they want to be a skin colour. Or, you know, there's a trend of eyebrow lamination now, where they'll use chemicals to fluff their eyebrows. Yeah. And it's like, so what I may have got bullied for before.
So the then got coming into like mainstream fashion now.
It's on, the Lengo's on ASOS.
Well, you go to
Yeah.
John Lewis's displays of the sake.
But it's not.
Come world.
Yeah.
You want to go to go to next?
So yeah, I think that would just be my message. Just
I think that's a good
embrace
way,
it because
embrace it.
it is what it is.
You are who you are.
You are who you are,
Yeah.
and it's that's great.
And you know what? Sorry, Dalbir, has like what we've done, the conversation that we've had today between all of us. You obviously absolutely right. You don't have that children yet, and inshallah you will have lots and lots of them. That you and now for me, when I had kids, thinking about that stuff just wasn't in my head at all. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously, I've grown. I'm doing it now. Do you think conversations like this help you with go, okay, well, it's maybe something that I should start thinking about when my kids come
Yeah,
out?
so me and my husband have like
Prep yourself for it.
we do have conversations when something happens with a family member, someone else has a kid, and then they go through that, and we're like, so how are we going to do that when it's our turn? So we're starting to formulate what that looks like for us.
Yeah.
But certain things, I think, just until it happens, you don't know.
You don't.
So I can
Yeah.
ask them and be like, well, this happened when they had a baby, and I want to do it so differently because of X, Y, Z. Until it happens and it hits me, I'm going to be able to say. So
Yeah, I think that's it.
Embrace it all.
That's amazing. Embrace it.
That's a great.
And embrace the fact that we are different. Yeah? That's it. Embrace the fact we are different.
Yeah.
We're British. We're South Asian.
Yeah.
And we get to enjoy that
Both.
wicked mix.
We're
of
probably
both.
something else as well. Yeah, we probably mixed with other genes and other.
Well, before we finish, we've done a family tree. Our family tree goes all the way back to modern day Persia.
There you go.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we weren't always Pakistani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dalbir is migrated from the Aryan race,
Yeah.
which is what a lot of the genetics. If we did an ancestry DNA test, you wouldn't be fully South Asian because you migrated over from Russia, East Europe.
Yeah. In
Thousands of
the
years
Russian
ago.
part, we're not yet 100%.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Thank you very much for taking part.
Thank you, AJ.
It's been enlightening.
Really, really good.
And hopefully everyone listening to this podcast
Enjoys it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much.
And ask us questions.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. That's the last point. Come and ask us questions if you have questions.
If we don't have the answer, we'll find.
As you can tell, we like to talk. Yeah. So by all means, come and ask us
Enjoy the
questions.
people around you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just exclusive to a particular community. It's open to everybody. I've got questions about culture that I don't understand about British culture that I need answering sometimes. It's good to have that discussion, isn't it? And thank you for.
Yes, thank you from us and thank you from me to all of you. So
Yeah, it's been fun, man.
Good fun.
Yes.
And that's the end of part 2 for this week. Thank you again to AJ, Nabeel, Dalbir and Jeevan. To find out more about Wesleyan, go to wesleyan.co.uk or find us on the website formerly known as Twitter, over on Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn. And if you found this podcast useful, you can like and subscribe to us on all the usual platforms, as well as find us on YouTube, where there's a whole library of videos covering a wide range of financial planning topics. But that's it for now. So until next time, thanks for listening.